Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a fun sort of eBay Market Watch video where I'm going to be taking a look through recently sold listings and kind of just commentating on my thoughts on what the prices are like, or maybe we come across a really cool item. We'll check it out. I did a video like this a few months ago and you guys seem to really like it, so I figured let's do another one. So the first thing here that I noticed was this listing for both the original Wolfenstein 3D and Doom. Look at this box on Wolfenstein, though. Oh my goodness. It is crushed beyond oblivion here. And the Doom box isn't in the greatest condition either, but it still went for $355. So if you happen to be a big box PC collector and you have opened, not even sealed copies of Doom and Wolfenstein 3D for the original IBM floppy disk versions, they are getting pretty expensive. I love the idea behind big box PC games, but man, it's a little too much work these days to like buy those old, especially floppy disk, and then expect to try and get them to work easily in 2025. So I think I'm mostly going to have to stick to when they're released on Steam or GOG or other methods. So we're going to kind of just scroll through here, and I will do some cuts and edits because sometimes there's not always something interesting to commentate on. So like this here is something that I have been noticing lately. Tony Hawk's American Wasteland has been getting more expensive on all platforms, even like the PS2 version. But yeah, this is now quickly becoming one of the most expensive launch games for the Xbox 360. I think that honor still goes to sort of like King Kong and Need for Speed Most Wanted, but this is catching up. It's going for typically $60 now, and this is the last Tony Hawk game I actually ever played. I was a big fan, and I've been trying to reacquire a copy. Unfortunately, I think I waited a little bit too long to get a good deal on it. But I did want to just let you guys know that this is now approaching or selling for $60. Well, it looks like the infamous Poop Slinger game has sold. I'm not sure what they got for it. I mean, I could check and see, but I've always thought this was so ridiculous. There's some crazy lore behind this Poop Slinger game. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, to say the least. But yeah, one did sell. They were asking 1900. A best offer was accepted. Just ridiculous. This is one of the reasons I don't really get behind the whole like limited game style releases or anything. It's just this kind of stuff is just not for me. With the impending release of Onimusha 2, the HD version, it looks like copies of Onimusha on the PlayStation 4 physically are going for 56. I would anticipate that this price may continue to go up leading up to the launch of Onimusha 2, so if you're kind of on the fence of playing the first one again before you play the remaster or the remake that they're releasing, maybe now would be a decent time to jump on it, but I would foresee the price on this coming down a bit after Onimusha 2 does get its re-release. And since some of you are probably wondering, the search that I am doing is rare. I'm just searching for rare under the video game category, and then just sorting by both buy it now and auctions that have ended recently. This is actually, someone got a pretty good deal here on these Wii games. Smash Brothers, Tales of Symphonia, Muramasa, Zelda, and Bleach for $52 bidding. It's really hard to come across good lots of Wii games. Just that typically they're loaded with such shovelware that it's really hard to find a good auction like that. Here's Rain. I do recommend that you check out Rain. This never got a physical release in the US, but you can import the Asian copy of this, and it is very expensive because that one is in English, but you can download it digitally. Do it while you can. It's available on PS3. I was hoping one day we might have seen this more widely available. Maybe it got a PS4 port or something, but it's a really cool, artsy, slightly horror game that gave me a lot of vibes of Eco. So it's a really cool atmospheric horror game. Something a little different. It's a really good horror game for those of you that don't typically play horror games. Man, how times are changing. I can remember the days when Tecmo Secret of the Stars was the cheapest RPG practically on the Super Nintendo, but now a complete in-box copy with a manual that looks like the game was well loved, to say the least, or survived some kind of flood. Oh, it's a rental copy, okay. A rental copy with a terrible manual is now selling for $160. I've still never played this game, and at this rate, I probably never will, because I don't think I ever picked this one up. But I can remember when this game was just sort of laughed at, and it was like 20 bucks complete in box, and now look at it, right? Look, who's laughing now? Apparently Tecmo Secret of the Stars. Whoa! Now that is what you call the Sonic 3 effect. Holy smokes! This is crazy. What? Sonic and the Black Knight sold for $50 pretty much shipped for a complete, doesn't even look to be super mint condition copy of the game. Yeah, Sonic's been going really wild lately, especially with this um, the PC port of Sonic Unleashed. Sonic fans are getting really excited, and I always wondered if Sonic and the Black Knight and Sonic and the Secret Rings would kind of have their day in the spotlight. I actually really like the storybook games on the Wii. They've really grown on me over the years. I liked them, but I wasn't super into them when they first came out, but I've really grown to appreciate them over time. Well, here's an update on Godzilla for PS4. The game is holding steady at $200. This game, that's pretty much the baseline price. You might be able to get lucky and get it a little bit cheaper. Um, the game's kind of gone up and down a little bit as Godzilla hype comes and goes with the movies and such, but $200 is about what you are going to be paying for this game. I do only recommend this game and this price to hardcore Godzilla fans. If you're kind of casual, there's probably better games out there for you, but I always like to call this game, it's pretty much like the Godzilla simulator. It really captures the feeling and weight of playing as these giant kaiju monsters. And yeah, it's definitely worth picking up if you've never played it and you've just avoided it because you've heard bad things. No, if you're really into Godzilla, it's worth it. It's personally my favorite Godzilla game that I've ever played. Luckily, I did not have to pay this kind of price because I picked it up day one when it came out. And I was letting people know back then that it was something special, and hopefully some of you listened to me because it is a lot more expensive these days. Ooh, man, okay, so this is pretty wild. This is that is my Nintendo 64 light up sign. This is one of the earliest promotional items I ever bought. Oh wow, I've actually never seen it displayed that way. It looks like that's the back. Yeah, I kind of forget what the back likes because I haven't moved this thing in like 2 decades. But somebody apparently bought one for $2,600. That is crazy. The thing about light up signs like this, you rarely ever see these like official ones selling like this for crazy prices too much anymore. Well, maybe I should rephrase it. It's more of a specialist thing because back when I was buying signs like this, and I think for mine I paid like $100, 150 at the most, no more than that. But it's a lot more rare to see people buying these kind of signs because there's so many alternatives now when it comes to non-official like reproductions that people make in a factory. Personally, for me, I really like to avoid the repros. If I'm going to have a sign taking up space in my game room, I want it to have a history behind it. I want it to be something that was originally in a game store. But now if you're looking to do something like that, and that's why I don't buy promo signs anymore, like this light up ones, the prices are just absolutely ridiculous. And the market is flooded with a lot of cheaper alternatives. So if you're looking to build up your game room, by all means, go for the repros because apparently this is what you're going to be paying to get an official Nintendo 64 sign from back in the 90s, which is, wow. Yeah, even I wouldn't have guessed that this is what people would be paying for this kind of stuff. Here's a listing that sold for $885 for 42 Super Nintendo boxes. No games. Probably no manuals. Let's take a look and see what they got. Got a copy of Doom, Final Fight, Magical Quest, Addams Family, Stunt Racer, Star Fox, Donkey Kong Country 2, Tecmo Super Bowl, Donkey Kong Country, Sunset Riders, probably the number one highlight in the lot. Yeah, so this just goes to show you how much people are willing to pay for just the boxes on a bunch of, pretty mid or below Super Nintendo games. But except for this is probably the picture here of some of the better games, the Donkey Kong Country games and Sunset Riders. But yeah, wild. It's a little late to be getting into Super Nintendo collecting. Here's one that I like to show because I realize that everybody watching this video, you're not going to be super up on the prices of games, right? And that's the point of these eBay Market Watch videos. It's to kind of enlighten you. Maybe there's some games here that everybody thinks they know the price of, but there are people out there that are still unaware that they're sitting on a fortune when it comes to Pokemon games. $416 for a nice complete in-box copy of Pokemon Fire Red with the connector. And it looks like you get a little pocket trainer's guide here, so it is sort of a nice super duper complete listing. But even the condition isn't the best. So if you're the type of person where you're just, you're not really in the Pokemon games anymore and you happen to have a copy of Fire Red or Leaf Green, this is what they are worth. So if you just don't really play your Pokemon games anymore, unfortunately, I made the mistake of selling a bunch of my Pokemon games many years ago when I thought that I had no interest in playing older Pokemon games anymore. But these days, I am clamoring to play some of the older Pokemon games, and I definitely regret it. Yeah, I'm feeling the burn on that one. I've actually never owned Fire Red or Leaf Green, so these prices are kind of, oh man, yeah. And I don't think the Pokemon craze is going to be dying down anytime soon. So I'm kind of really pulling for Nintendo to re-release these in some way. Holding out hope. We'll have to see what happens. Whoa. Very rare Wii Hori controller from Japan. Now, why is this $400? This is extremely hard to find. I've only seen one other online, and it was not in the box. Very unique for a controller for a Wii Nintendo collection. So it looks like it's got like turbo presses on it. My guess would be somebody that maybe as a speedrunner bought this. It does look very unique, or somebody that's just really into rare and obscure controllers for their consoles. But if you guys have ever seen this before, let me know. I've personally never seen it. Also, if you guys are enjoying the video, be sure to leave it a like. And if you're new here, consider subscribing, checking out the channel, because this is the kind of content that I like to put out. I just really enjoy sharing my years and years of experience browsing eBay. I do eBay streams all the time, so this stuff comes second nature to me. I just really enjoy just sharing my passion for games with people. And thank you for all of you that enjoy this kind of content. I just love nothing more than to be able to make these kind of videos for you guys and actually have people watch them. So yeah, thank you again. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever even heard of this game before. The original Game Boy never ceases to amaze me. It's one of the few consoles where once in a while I'll see a game and I'll be like, whoa, okay, never seen or heard of that before. And this is a new one for me, Super Hunchback. And man, what a cover. The princess up there is looking mighty scared. And the Hunchback, well, it's quite the character. And that guy there, he's got quite the view. Maybe that's why he's putting on such a face. But yeah, I've never seen this cover before. This is wild. I personally do not collect complete in box original Game Boy games. They're just way too pricey. But I will tell you one thing: I'm going to be on the lookout for a cart of this game now because this looks. It's probably a terrible game, but just to say that I own this game because that looks just completely wild. I'm going to try and get a cart of this. I like showing these kind of interesting little tidbits of promo items too. This here is a Super Mario Brothers 3 dry erase board. One sold. They actually have a couple available. I love this kind of stuff. I love these old vintage items that you don't see all the time. I used to collect a lot of Mario stuff, and I can't say I remember seeing this. I used to collect a lot of Mario, but I definitely have not bought Mario stuff for a very, very long time. I pretty much put it in one shelf, and then once that shelf filled up, I was kind of done. Sonic, of course, went a little bit more overboard. Ooh, but not so much Mario. This is, speaking of Sonic, oh my goodness. This is so rare, and you can see the price on this. This is one of the holy grails of GameCube collecting. So this is a Player's Choice Duo Pack of Sonic Heroes and Super Monkey Ball. You are essentially just paying for the cardboard box, which has a bunch of... First of all, oh my god, this is so wild. There's sun fading up the wazoo on this left side. Holy, I cannot believe this sold for $3,800. Look at the condition of this. Like, you know those YouTube thumbnails where people are putting on the shocked faces? Like, this is a legit shocked face moment here. For $3,800, it's completely sun faded here to the point of it's being black and white. Right? Because you could see it in Sonic here, where there was like a sticker here on the side or something that just completely faded it. I'm not sure what happened here, honestly, but it's something obviously happened because Sonic should not be this color here for Sonic Heroes, right? This thing is so rare, it would be so hard to even find a reference image, but I actually think, I'm going to double check this real quick. GameCube Duo Pack Sonic Monkey Ball, because I don't want to misspeak on this. Oh yeah, this thing is definitely supposed to be bright, vivid yellow. Yeah, this is some kind of weird sun fading. I was second guessing it a little bit because of this, like the Nintendo seal looks fine. But yeah, wow, it's so sun faded, it's literally black and white. Anyway, there's spots of dirt, there's dents in the cardboard. There's a bunch of tears and stuff from sticker residue. Look at this. I mean, yeah, you might be able to get that off if you're really skilled. It looks like it's got like a pubic hair kind of like embedded in the something going on there with the sticker residue. Someone's hair for sure. And dents and edge wear. Here's another pubic hair right down here for you. But apparently the person that bought this did not care. $3,800. I mean, I get that it's rare. Found this while cleaning out a closet. This duo pack has been opened, and one game Sonic has been open. Disc is like new. I'm showing all the paperwork that it came with. This is what I found on the internet about these two games. Wow. I wonder if this person is even aware that they found something this rare and expensive. It sounds like they kind of just listed it, not really knowing the true value of this thing with their description. Oh my goodness, look at the sides of it. And the top, oh man, it just gets worse and worse with the fading. Man, GameCube collectors are wild, boy. They are something. I kind of draw a line. I have a limit when it comes to the amount of wear that I will accept on a game, and I think that amount of extreme sun fading and pubic hair stuck on my games would probably be the line that I would draw. But yeah, for GameCube collectors, that is apparently not a problem. And just interesting to show this one, because it pretty much sold on the same day. A sealed copy of Godzilla on PS4 sold for $355. So an extra $150-ish just to get a sealed copy. It makes you wonder if the person that's buying it is just going to pop it open and play it, or if they're going to just entomb it in a case or something and hold on to it. Maybe they're a Godzilla collector. Here's Pokemon Box that sold for $2,000. Sometimes I'm very thankful for not being a super fan of like the Pokemon games. And I say that in terms of like, I'm definitely not in the Pokemon enough to ever want to buy something like Pokemon Box, and sometimes I'm thankful for that. Here's a old Sega channel, and yeah, this is pretty much just for show. You can't use these things anymore, obviously. Unfortunately, I don't have my Sega channel anymore. I really regret that. I wish I did. There were a few different models. I'm pretty sure this may have been what mine looked like, but it's so hard to remember. It was so long ago. But to me, it's like reacquiring somebody else's Sega channel would just not be the same. I would either want my original one or nothing. And in case you were wondering if Skylanders was dead, well, apparently not, because people are still paying nearly $500, actually over $500, to get a Skylander that is just a clear piece of plastic. There's no color on this Skylander. It's just one of those limited chase variants. The way Skylander, and it's actually torn and opened. The way Skylanders used to work, and there was a lot of drama behind it back in the day. They would ship these rare chase variants, they would call them, to stores, but then employees started catching on and they would open the containers and they would steal the chase variants and buy them for themselves. So they were never getting in the customer's hands, and it was a big flipping issue with employees at stores like Target and Walmart and wherever else carried Skylanders. So that's why these things go for so much money now, because it was almost impossible for your everyday consumer to get these things when they first came out. But all these years later, 2025, people are still buying and collecting these things. Skylanders is going really wild lately. I should show you guys sometime more in depth, but there's probably about 50 to 100 Skylanders listings that sell every day on eBay. It's pretty crazy. And maybe the person that bought this GameCube foam box, it's actually a stress ball for GameCube. Maybe the person that lost the bid for that Sonic and Super Monkey Ball listing, maybe they were just so stressed and mad about it, they had to buy this instead to take out the anger of losing that listing. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.